Professor Michael Batty from the Center of Spatial Analysis of the University College London talked about cities as laboratories. Welcome, Michael.
Hi.
Michael, in the beginning of your talk, you spoke of urbanization, of population growth and demographic transition. How do you see the future of cities?
Okay, well, I think that cities will be very similar to the way they are today, except that everywhere will be city, that the rural dimension will be much less played up in this sense. So everybody will be living in cities. We'll have some big cities and many, many smaller cities in this sense. The big question, I think, is will the cities be more compact or will they be spread out in some senses? This is the $64,000 question, right? Compactness or sprawl in that context. In terms of total population, then a lot of people are forecasting that the total population of the world will probably stabilize. It won't continually exponentially increase, Malthus-like in that sense. And in that context, that our cities will be dominated much more by migration than they will be by very dramatic growth through natural increase in that sense. So migration will be a continual issue. There'll be more dynamic in that sense, more change.
You've shown us impressive 3D models tonight. Tell us, what are such GIS models are able to show in regards to climate change?
Well, I mean, they can bring alive a lot of things that the two-dimensional map fails to do. That we can look at a two-dimensional map and we can see which areas get flooded, etc., which areas are subject to pollution. But if we somehow put this into a 3D context, it brings it alive. We can also add more information. If we put the 3D pictures of buildings in, as well as layers of pollutants or things of that sort which pertain to climate change, this can actually associate in the mind of the viewer, right, the watcher, if you like, or the viewer. It can associate these things together where they wouldn't associate them previously. So from the point of view of communicating these ideas, the 3D world is particularly important in that sense.
Down the road, UNFCCC is holding a Bonn climate change conference right now. And yesterday they stated out, cities are at the forefront of climate change action. So how can cities benefit from your models?
Well, I think that one of the major issues in terms of climate change is the energies that we use. We spend probably a quarter or a third of our energy budgets on transportation, for example. Cities are all about transportation. They're about bringing people together. So if we change transportation in some sense, our models enable us to look at the impact of how we change transportation. And that immediately is the impact of how we change the energy used in this particular context. So you see straight away that our models are useful in this particular context. What I showed in the lecture was that congestion charging in London, introducing new high-speed lines, etc., would have quite profound impacts on the amount of energy used.
Professor Michael Batty, thank you for this short interview.
Thank you.